Hello, welcome to Healing with MM podcast. I am Marissa McDevitt, your host, mindset coach, mentor, and founder of Healing Center. Are you tired of all the BS? So was I. This podcast is my raw, unfiltered take on life, sharing my personal experiences, lessons, and healing practices that help me break free from the cycles that no longer serve me. I am just an average woman who decided to stop settling and start speaking up. Here we dive deep into the messy, beautiful, and sometimes painful realities of life, business, and relationships. No fluff, no judgment, just real talk, real growth, and real transformation. This is a safe space for anyone, women, men, and all the beauties in between. So, who's ready to raise their standards, heal, and step into their power? Let's learn, grow, and evolve together. Now tune in and let's talk about it. All right, episode 5. You read the title right. Booty Talk, getting real about hemorrhoids, healing, and being supported. Yes, I got hemorrhoids at 31 years old. What the front door? Not only did I get them internally, I got them externally. What is a hemorrhoid? They are swollen and inflamed veins in the rectum and anus that cause discomforts and bleeding. Yes. It's terrible. Absolutely terrible. What the symptoms are is pain in the anus, itching, swelling, and blood in the stool. Treatments for it is a high fiber diet. You can take stool softeners. You can do a self-care holistic way. You could take medications, steroids, etc. Or some of them you have to get medical procedures where they have to surgically remove them, cauterize them, rubber band them, freeze them. Bizarre. Absolutely bizarre. Yeah. How wild. I didn't even know what a hemorrhoid was. Okay, so I just started having symptoms where I noticed there was blood in my stools. And I was like, okay, well, sometimes that happens. Not a big deal. But also I was getting symptoms of I'm not even kidding, almost like a yeast infection in my butthole. That's what I felt like. Literally itching and pain. And then as it got worse, it turned into almost a UTI in my butthole. Yes, that's how it felt. So my symptoms, I had all the symptoms. I had the itching, the blood, the pain, all of it. I felt a bump down there, which that's an external one. I was crying. I was embarrassed. I was depressed. I also didn't know what it was. So it was a little difficult for me to handle because I didn't know what was going on. I am not a type of person that goes to the doctors unless it's a medical emergency, for real. And the reason why, and I'm going to get into this in another episode, is due to the fact of I don't really trust doctors and how the medical field is, because all they do is prescribe to mask symptoms so you come back to prescribe. Anyways, on another note, I have gone to the doctors when I break my wrist, if I need stitches, when I need my tonsils removed, all the things. So, yes, medical stuff is awesome, but 88% of it is sus. And that's just my opinion. And with this episode, I'm not a doctor. I am just a normal person telling you how I had hemorrhoids and how I cured them on my own, no doctors, holistic healing. So, not only was I in pain, crying, barely could sit down, just embarrassed, I didn't know what was going on. My fiancé he works out of town, so he's only home on the weekends. And so you know what that means for the ladies and the men out there. Like, when your partner's out of town on the weekends, you are getting frisky. So, of course, he's sending me these sexy texts and trying to, be in the mood and be sexy. And I love that. And I'm, on the other hand, crying, itching my butt in pain. And I have no space to be sexy and to present myself in any kind of sexy way because I'm in so much pain. And it literally made me depressed even more because I am just like, oh my gosh, he only gets to come home on the weekend. He looks forward to our passionate, sexy time, connection time during the weekends. And the weekend before, he was in a not such a good mood. He was kind of in a depressed state. He was in his head a lot. So we didn't connect sexually that weekend. So now we're going on 2 weeks, no sex, no intimacy. And he's extremely worked up, ready to connect with his woman when he returns home. And I am crying in pain, not knowing what's going on. Don't want to tell him, but I'm being short with the sexting, and I'm just like disgusted at this point because I don't know what's going on with me, and I don't know how to tell him. I'm embarrassed to tell him. And I went to bed just crying. I told him I had a bad day. I didn't tell him what was going on. And the next morning it was way worse. And I finally just broke down and told him, these are my symptoms. This is what's going on. I'm just stressed out. I'm in a lot of pain. I'm depressed. And I always call him my little doctor because he is like my OGBYN. Anything I'm ever feeling, he holistically heals me with. He always finds out what's going on, how to help me, and we get it healed. And it's still hard to open up to your partner when you're going through things like that. But I made the decision that I can either keep being in pain and having this energy around like not opening up to my partner, or I can open up to my partner and at least I know like he knows and I have a weight lifted off my shoulders of not having this stress that we're gotta have sex right away when he comes home, just in case I'm not like able to. And I told him my symptoms, and he's like, oh, honey, like, sounds like you have a hemorrhoids. Like, I've had those before. Like, and I told him, I said, what is a hemorrhoid? And he's like, they're veins. And he kind of explained it to me. And he's like, that's probably what the bleeding is. And so I'm like, oh, okay. So I get off the phone with him, and I go down the rabbit hole on Google of what are hemorrhoids? How are they treated? What are the symptoms? And I'm like, oh my gosh, I have hemorrhoids. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. And the thing is like, it tells you people who have hemorrhoids are usually people who are pregnant or like after they're pregnant because they're pushing so hard, lifting heavy weights, which I do work out in the gym, and aging when you get older. So those are the main three people main three sections. I don't know what I'm saying. Main three reasons why you would get hemorrhoids. Not someone who's 31 years young, works out, eats good, exercises. Okay? And another one is sitting too long. When you're sitting for long periods of time. And that hit me. I was like, that's what it is. I'm like, I can't even make this stuff up. So I am used to working at bars and doing bottle service. So running around the pool in Arizona, like 110 degrees every single day, 5 times a week. I am used to constantly moving, being around a bar, high volume bars. And I went from working 10-hour days, 5 times a week, on my feet constantly, never sitting, to the opposite. I'm now mostly working from home, at my computer, at my desk, sitting for mostly 8 to... Sorry if you heard that background noise. That's my dog laying down. I'm mostly working from my desk. I'm now working from my desk 8 to 10 hours a day. If I do go to work at the bar, I'm working before I go to the bar. I come home and I sit back at my desk. I had no knowledge that this can have side effects. Not only on your butt, but your eyes too, and headaches. We'll get into that another time, as that's something I'm dealing with as well. So, anyways, I go down the rabbit hole on Google, and I'm like, okay, I know where I got it, how I got them. I know what I have. Now, how do I treat it? Oh, gosh. If you look that up, it is terrifying. It's like rubber bands. That's what they say. They take a rubber band, they wrap it around. I don't know what they did. I couldn't read the rest of it. That's insanity. Then it's like surgery, and I'm like, I'm not going in for surgery. So, of course, then I start crying again, and I'm like, okay, obviously, I'm going to try the holistic ways first. And if it's bothering me so bad in a couple weeks or a month, then I'm obviously going to have to go to the doctor and get these things surgically removed. So, I did some research on holistic healing for hemorrhoids. I go on YouTube, I went on Reddit, I went on Google, all the platforms, and what I came up with was, 1, you have to have a high fiber diet. So we have this fiber powder. I can't remember exactly what it's called. Gosh, it's a fiber powder. It's all organic. So you put that in your water, stir it up, and drink it. So I did that. Witch hazel soothes the itching. Oh my gosh. So I got a bottle of like no alcohol in it, just with some aloe, witch hazel, very affordable. Vitamin E capsules, 400 UI. It has to say that. I watched a YouTube video on this older gentleman, and he's like the hemorrhoid guy. And all these people were just like raving about how it worked, what he said. And I guess he was on YouTube for a long time talking about hemorrhoids. So this is what he did. Vitamin E capsules, 400 UI. Yes, you stick them up your butt. I used virgin, organic, cold-pressed coconut oil for lube. I also got Dr. Butler's hemorrhoid infuser ointment. You can get it off Amazon. It's like a holistic cream. Also, Preparation H cream. I personally like the Dr. Butler's hemorrhoid infuser ointment better. I use that full tube first, and I definitely notice a difference. So it is more of a price difference. sitz bath. So what that is like it's a bath with like hot water in it, and you just put your butt in it to like warm up the blood vessels and like help the blood flow come through. We have a hot tub, so I was in the hot tub a few nights a week. And then I just got hemorrhoid supplements. It's on Amazon. It's like HemX supplements. It's all natural supplements that you can take. So I started all this holistic treatments like 2 days after, Amazon Prime is 2-day shipping. So I had to wait for all that. Everything came in. So what I did was, what they tell you to do is witch hazel, you clean your area, you put the coconut oil on, you put the 2 vitamin E capsules up your butt, and then you put the hemorrhoid cream up your butt and externally around. I know. This is a wild episode, but this is real butt talk, booty talk. This is a real thing. And not only that, so you go 7 days with this treatment 3 times a day. Yeah. Talk about getting comfortable with your butthole, okay? Sticking things up there. I started doing that treatment like 24 hours before my fiancé came home, and we did have sex, and slow, passionate sex, of course. And everything was fine. I wasn't hurting or nothing. And later, like when we're laying in bed, he's like, let me look at your butthole. And I'm like, no, I was so embarrassed. Like, no, because, in my head, I thought it was like this nasty pussy, like, ew, I don't know. I just looked at too many photos on Google. So he's like, come on, I've looked at your butthole so many times. And it's like, okay, that's true. And plus he's like my OGBYN. He's my partner. He's my best friend. Like, I'm like, fuck it, whatever. All right. So he looks and he's like, babe, like, there is nothing. Like, you're fine. There's nothing there. It looks good. And I'm like, what do you mean? And I felt a little bit of a bump, but not like it was. So within 24 hours from doing the witch hazel, the vitamin E up the butt, and the cream, it already shrunk. And I was like, oh my gosh, thank God. The pain and everything was still there, itching like crazy. But the fact is that like just 24 hours that helped. So if anybody's going through this or knows anybody, send them to the podcast episode. No. Amazon Prime them, all the things I'm telling you. So yeah. Fast forward, I am now 7 full days of doing all the treatments. The last few days I haven't done it 3 times a day. So the reason why you do it 3 times a day is normally because you are going poop 3 times a day. So what you do is you wait in the morning, you do your morning poop, then you clean up and you insert everything. And then at lunchtime, same thing, clean up, insert everything. So you're supposed to do it after you release. But not everybody poops 3 times a day or whatever. So at first I was, and then it went like to 2 times a day. So it's just pretty much every time after you poop. And then if my symptoms were really bad, like the itching was so bad, so that I would go and do it again. And it would soothe it. Literally the witch hazel and the cream and everything would soothe it. So now I'm 7 days into the treatment, 2 weeks into having hemorrhoids, and I can sit without hurting. I can, the itching has gone down. I still itch a little bit. Also, like, you're not supposed to wear like thongs or underwear. You're supposed to let it breathe. So if you can be naked all the time, pretty much, no. But especially when you're sleeping, because that's when you're resting the most. is to not have any clothes down there. So, funny story, the positives on having hemorrhoids. The positive is, one, I have something to talk about on my episode. No, I'm just kidding. But I'm helping other people. I have told a few people about me having hemorrhoids, and every person I've told, it's like, yeah, I've had them. Yeah, I've had them. Yeah, I've had them. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Okay, so I thought I was like this rare person just like getting cursed of having them. And no, like my friends who are younger like me have had them. My friends who are pregnant have had them. I've had like 2 men tell me they've had them. So it is a thing. And the cure is also like if you do work in an office or if you do work at home, get up every hour, walk around, do jumping jacks, do push-ups, just move your body, dance around. That's what I've been doing. Also, making sure you do incorporate fiber in your diets. So not only did I get a podcast episode, I get to help people become aware of what a hemorrhoid is. Now you know the symptoms, but also having that state of vulnerability to your partner is probably the most important thing. Having my partner to talk to about it, to be there to support me on it, was huge because I was so depressed. I was so upset. I was so scared to tell him because I know how important it is for us to have sex when he's home and connection, physical touch, quality time is his love languages. So when I can't present myself in an authentic way to my partner in his ways that he receives love, then I'm depressed. I feel like I can't show up as a partner. I am lacking in partnership. I am not being the best, fiance that I can be to him. And then I get in my head about it, like, okay, he's going to leave me if, not leave me, but he's going to search elsewhere. And all of those are just thoughts I make up in my head. So when you're going through situations like this and you're having all these thoughts come up, you can have them, let them come up, but then ask yourself, is this really true? Is my partner going to leave me because I haven't had sex with him in 2 weeks? No, that's not the truth. And if it is, peace, sayonara. No. But seriously, that's not the partner for you. Hey there, beautiful soul. Quick pause here to share something magnetic with you. I am inviting you to join me June 27th through the 30th in Puerto Penasco, Mexico, which is also known as Rocky Point, Mexico, for the first ever magnetic mindset retreat, a powerful 3-day experience designed to activate your inner power and align you with your higher self. We're talking daily sound healings on the beach, Reiki session, 2 curated transformational workshops, exciting excursions like riding ATVs through the desert, horseback riding on the beach, a vibrant welcome party to set the vibe with dinner, delicious breakfast and lunch included daily, and every evening is open for you for your own soulful adventure. You'll have the choice of a shared room or a private room with your own bathroom. Flights and transportation are not included, but we do offer a shuttle from Phoenix Airport to the retreat in Rocky Point for an additional fee. This experience is for anyone 21 or older who is ready to shift their mindset, connect in community, and embody their most magnetic self. Spots are limited, so you can check on my Instagram, Facebook, DM me. I'll have the link below so you can apply. And I cannot wait to meet you in paradise. Much love. And let's get back to the episode. So here we go. Here's a fun story. This is going to get a little personal and deep. So if you're not 18 and over, I don't know if I'm supposed to say that. I'm just kidding. So another plus is that I am really comfortable with my butthole again. In the beginning of Rogers and I's relationship, we went to a resort and in Mexico, and we like to use butt plugs and all the toys, fun things, ties and butt plugs. Anyways, butt play is his favorite thing. So we're having a good time. We were drinking at the pool all day. We go back to the room and we're having hot, wild sex, and we got the butt plug in, and I don't know what he was doing, like massaging it or something, but I could feel like something I haven't felt before. And I asked him, I'm like, honey, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? And by the time I said, what are you doing the second time, the butt plug was in my butt. Yes. That's like my worst fear. I've heard of this like happening, and one of my close friends has had this happen to her. But it's terrified me. That's like one of my worst fears. And not only that, my aunt, she does like x-ray technicians, and she's told me so many horror stories about people coming in and sticking the craziest things up their butt, like spoons and like like carrots and just you name it. Like these people stick weird things up their butt. So not only that, it sucks it up, and then they can't get it out, and they have to go into the doctor. They get an x-ray, and they have to get it surgically removed. So we're having a good time, having sexy time, and yes, the butt plug went inside my butt. I freak out in my head, but I stayed very calm because I know like this is a big, big problem, a big butt problem. So I'm like, where did it go? Where did it go? He's like, I don't know. And I'm like, well, get it out. He's like, okay. So I had to like lay there, and he went digging in there, getting it out. And I know I had to relax, and it's so hard to relax when you're freaking out. So he's like, relax. And I'm like, okay. So I'm laying on my stomach, and he's getting it out. And thank Jesus, Lord. That's why he's my OGBYN. This was in the beginning of our relationship, too. So talk about, like, really just getting connected. He gets it out. The minute he gets it out, I jump up and I run to the bathroom, and I'm just hysterically crying, just bawling, crying and bawling. I was traumatized. Like, I was so scared. All I kept thinking about, oh my gosh, like I was like seconds away from going to the hospital and having to get an x-ray done in Mexico saying there's a butt plug in my butt. Like, I was so, and like, not only that, like I was drunk. So, you know, a lot of emotions were coming up, and he comes in, he's like, what is going on? And he's laughing because he thinks it's the greatest thing. And I'm bawling. And then I'm mad at him for laughing because I was so traumatized. So that was over a year ago, and I still have not had any butt plugs in my butt. That's how traumatized I was. I've had fingers up there, whatever, but no butt plugs. Yeah. And now, because of these hemorrhoids, my butthole is great again. I am used to sticking things up there. And yeah, so we were joking around, and I told my fiance, I'm like, hey, butt play is back in once these are healed. We're going to introduce the butt plugs back. As long as you're not doing whatever the heck you were doing to lose them. So, yes, being vulnerable, opening up, even though it's absolutely terrifyingly scary, is the thing you need to do. And when you're in avoidant, anxious attachment, which I am obviously mostly secure now, but I was extremely avoidant, anxious attachment style. And if you don't know what that is, there's a book called Attached, and it tells you all about your attachment styles. That's how I feel when I'm going through scary personal things. First, I didn't tell him for like 2 days, and then the symptoms got so bad, and then he's trying to sex me, and I just didn't have the energy and wasn't in the mood. So I decided, instead of pulling back and being anxious and avoidant like I was for 2 days, that is not who I am. I need to lean in and open up and tell him, even when it's scary, embarrassing, and terrifying. And the results and the support is amazing. He responded so well. He was so sweet. He was so calm in his voice. He came home. We had passionate sex. He's looking at my butthole. And we just had the most connecting heart-to-heart weekend we have had in a long time, because I opened up and he knew that. And that is what relationships are about. Your partner should be your best friend, the one that you should open up to. Like, I don't know, maybe you don't tell your best friends, but like, if everything you would tell your best friend, you're supposed to tell your partner. That's how I look at it, at least. So, y'all, that is my episode today. Booty talk, the real deal about booty. Booty play, booty talk, and booty problems and booty solutions. So the affirmations to end on today is: I am healthy, I am healed, and I am in the state of gratitude for having this lesson in my life and learning from it, so I can in return teach and help others. And with that being said, much love.